Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So we're back with a Samira commentary guide. Now we've already done the complete guide on her, so if you guys want to take a look at her skills, leveling order, her runes, and her item build, go over there to check it out. So also, I'm probably not going to make too much more content for patch 3.3c because there really is no point when it's kind of like under a week until patch 3.4 releases, which I'm really excited about, especially to play Senna with the new support item, the sickle or scythe or something like that. But yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. So instead today in this video we're going to talk about Samira. Of course we've only made one Samira video so far and she's the latest ADC, so I'm going to talk a little bit about how to play Samira into certain matchups. So now this team comp that I'm facing is not the worst that you could possibly get, but it's definitely not the best. So the best kind of team comps are those team comps that are all squishy, that don't have CC, which, yeah, it's very rare you find those type of team comps, but hey, they do exist. So think about, like, you see here we have Kill Top, maybe you have like a Kha'Zix jungle, maybe you have like a I don't know, a Ziggs mid, you have a normal like ADC that doesn't have CC, and you have like a brand support, something like that. You could have a team that has high damage, all squishy, and no CC. Or not no, but almost no CC, so it is possible. So in this matchup, the reason why it's difficult is the most difficult champion to face is Galio, because Galio has that dash, really easy to disrupt your ultimate, and what's even easier is his taunt, because his taunt has that huge AoE area that just basically allows him to CC everybody around him. So the biggest threat to me is that Galio taunt, and right behind that is the Shen taunt, which is also relatively easy to target because it passes through everybody, and right behind that is the Diana ultimate, which is really huge and really easy for her to hit on me if she is targeting me specifically. So the main story of Samira is same like Katarina or Master Yi. If people target their CC on you, there isn't too much you can do, because there really isn't going to be any matches where you don't have CC in the matches, so it's really difficult to pick Samira in perfect conditions because they're never going to exist. But in this particular matchup, all of the CC at least needs to be targeted, or there's some kind of condition has to be met. Like for Galio to hit his taunt on me, he has to be close to me. But there are some CCs that are really hard to deal with, namely point and click CC. But before we talk about that, we got a little bit of trading going on in the lane. Nothing too much to highlight here, but we will be having a fight that's coming up that I will, break my conversation to kind of talk about, I think, relatively soon. But yeah. So, here we go. So here I'm trying to dash onto the Caitlyn and try to get the kill on her. I exhaust her. She's left at 1 HP, and I flash out, and I'm left at 1 HP as well. So we both barely make it out alive. The entire bot lane, both ADCs and both supports pop all sums, but nobody died. So that's kind of pretty interesting situation there. Alright, so the worst you can face is point and click CC. What am I talking about? I'm talking about things like Vayne's Condemn. Vayne's a really hard counter matchup to Samira. Same with like Tristana's ultimate, or even Pantheon's stun, who is pretty popular in the meta at the moment, is Pantheon. So things like that, if they know what they're doing, especially if you're fed, they will save their CC for you, and you can never ult, because the moment you start ulting in, you have to be in and amongst the enemy team, and you're gonna get stunned by the Pantheon or the Vayne or whoever else it may be that has point and click CC, and you're just done because you are in the middle of the enemy team, you have no ultimate, and you have no way to get out, and you're basically just gone. So those kind of teams, impossible to play against. Another hard counter is Xin Zhao that I've mentioned a lot of times, because you get anywhere close to him, he can just ult and push you away, and he will save that ult for you if he knows what he's doing and if you're fed. Alright, so here we're in a fight against Galio and the Caitlyn, and we basically kill both of them with a little bit of help from Jarvan coming in from the gank. Now unfortunately Jarvan picks up a kill, so does Nami, but I don't actually pick up anything aside from 2 assists. So kind of not the best case scenario there for me, but at least we know we killed both of them. Anyways, here we are able to pick up 1 tower plate. Now the rough gauge is if you get a kill on both people, you should be able to get 2 tower plates. But since in this scenario we didn't have the minion wave and we had to push in the minion wave, we can only afford to get 1, because they will be back in the lane already by the time we get that 1 tower plate. So anyways, with the tower plate we are able to back and complete our Bloodthirster, which is of course our first major power spike. Now just in time for the dragon, which is going to be spawning really soon. Alright, so before we go for the dragon, we want to of course clear out our lane so that we don't lose any gold and XP to the tower. So we're just going to quickly pick up the minions, and here we can see Jarvan and Nami just kind of waiting there, and nothing too much is happening, so I'm going back to just clear out the minions, get the push in. Now I see Nami gets engaged upon. I'm immediately going to walk over to her. I use the increased knockup duration. I'm going in with all my spells. Here I ult to kill the Caitlyn, dash over to the Galio. Galio flashes over, I flash to follow, and Evelyn picks up the kill onto the Galio. Now Kayle has rotated over to the dragon, and as has the Diana, and I know Diana's in that bush, so I'm just gonna shoot into that bush. Evelyn is zoning the Diana away, and we're in a 1v2 2v1 sorry, against the Kayle. Kayle ult saves herself, she's invulnerable, and pops the barrier as well. She actually nearly kills the Jarvan, but we are able to kill her before that happens. Here I get S rank, I'm able to ult again, last auto to kill the Shen, and I'm able to reset my dash onto the Diana and just kill her. So this is a prime example of what Samira can do if the enemy team is not coordinated. So here you see that Kayle is basically in a 1v2 by herself. She dies, and at the same time as dying, allow me to stack up to A rank. Shen then comes in after her, allows me to dash onto him, get the S rank, and even though he's in his Twilight Shroud, it doesn't matter because my ult will still damage him. It's not a basic attack. So my ult is able to shred him, leaving him at no health, allows me to kill him and get the reset on my E. Diana comes over and I'm able to dash onto the Diana because of the reset on my E and eventually pick up the kill on him. So if you just go in one by one against Samira, you know you're not gonna have a fun time. Here we spot Caitlyn backing, nice knockup by the Nami, allows me to follow up with the dash and then the ult from the Nami to basically guarantee the kill onto the Caitlyn. So of course we mentioned this already in the Samira complete guide, but basically you want to be playing Samira with somebody who has some kind of CC. The best case scenario is for someone to play with someone who has knockups. In this case Nami is really good because Nami has the bubble and the wave to knock up every the opponents basically. I think probably one of the best is Nautilus because Nautilus has a root and 2 forms of knockups. Other good candidates include like Alistar, who has a stun and a knockup, and Leona, who has a root and 2 stuns. So yeah, those are really good candidates to play Samira with. But in terms of enchanter supports, probably it's only like Nami and Janna. Janna's Tornado can do a lot of work for Samira in terms of her knockup. Alright, so here I'm pretty fed, 5-0 and 3, so I'm just going to go ahead and pick up that red buff. Now Jarvan himself, 2-0 and 6, he's not doing too bad. But of course the red buff is going to be better on the ADC than the jungler. Of course if I'm not fed, it would be way better to give it to Jarvan. But since I am fed, I'm just going to take the red buff for myself. Head on over to just clear out the lane. And I see 3 people top, pretty much just destroying my team. So here what I'm going to do is, we already got the bot lane tower, there's no reason to push out another wave aside from getting the goal. So instead I'm going to try to trade onto the mid lane tower because I do know that Evelyn has the Herald. So all we have to do is use the Herald to push mid lane tower. I say that but I back off because I saw Caitlyn. Now I realize that only Caitlyn is there to defend, so it's really an easy tower take from us. So here you guys can see we get the tower to below 2k health and we let the Herald finish the job on the tower. So really simple tower take from us. And then we got more gold, we can reset, probably pick up the IE. There we go, IE completed. And if you guys notice, in this match I actually picked up the Merc Treads because there's honestly quite a lot of CC in the enemy team. We have Galio, Justice Punch, Galio's Taunt. We have Galio's Ultimate as well. We have Caitlyn Trap, we have Shen Taunt, and we have Diana Ultimate. So a lot of CC overall. Here I try to go in, I get myself the S rank, and here is a prime example of what happens when you use your ult at the wrong time. So here, there was a possibility if I held my ult long enough, I could, not long enough, but held the ult after Galio used his CC, that I could have just killed all of them there, especially with the lifesteal and with the resets. But honestly, I thought that Galio had used his dash by now, considering that the fight is pretty long now. Either I was wrong about that and he still had dash, or his dash had come back off cooldown, which I think is pretty unlikely, so he probably just never dashed before I ulted. So as I mentioned, good players will save their CC to interrupt your ultimate. Now, I doubt that this Galio was doing that on purpose, but I think it was just a coincidence that he had his dash still up when I ulted. But really good on him to interrupt me, and because of that, I do get shut down. Alright, so here we see Diana over there. We see the Jarvan going in, and here I'm going to just try to help him out a little bit. Galio tries to rotate over. We get the kill. I managed to actually escape the Galio ulti, and then we are able to finish him off. Now, really sloppy ult usage by me again, especially because we know that Galio has not used his taunt yet. But honestly, in this case, I knew that that was a guaranteed kill because it was a 2v1. No one was near the Galio, and the Galio didn't have a tower. So honestly, in this situation, it really doesn't matter whether I ult properly or not. But that's a really bad example of how not to ult. Because obviously, I know that Galio still has his taunt. I saw him dash, but I know that he still has his taunt. So shouldn't be ulting there, but as I said, it actually doesn't matter in this case. So we back. We pick up Stasis and we pick up Double Longsword. We're going to build towards the Serelda's Grudge in this game. Now, there are games that you can't build Serelda's Grudge and you have to instead go for Maul Reminder if there is a lot of healing on the enemy team. But in this particular match, I think it's alright to go for the Serelda's Grudge because there isn't an obscene amount of healing from the enemy team. Here, Nami is trapping. I'm ready to follow up. Kale, unfortunately, has her ult. I'm taunted by the Galio. I'm able to ult and kill the Kale, but unfortunately the rest of the enemy team collapse and they are able to kill me, so not really the best situation in the world. Jarvan stops the dragon and comes over to help us. He's trapped in a 1v3. Evelyn does manage to pick up a kill on the side though, and we are left in a 2v3 with the Graves and Evelyn against the Caitlyn, Shen, and the Diana. So of course the enemy jungler is still alive, so there is a lot of, you know, it's pretty much guaranteed they're going to get the dragon unless something crazy happens. So here Diana goes in on my team, and she finds herself in a 1v2 because her team is not really ready to back her up. They're more interested in the dragon. So now we actually have a 2v2 without the enemy jungler, and Shen unfortunately does manage to pick up the dragon, but my team does manage to pick up 2 kills, trades 1 kill back over, and it's a very, very messy extended fight because now me, Nami, and Jarvan have respawned and we're ready to come over to help out the Graves. So here, Graves barely dies to the Shen because of the Twilight Shroud, and not he would have gotten that kill. Now, I didn't see the potential to chase here, so I see a fat minion wave instead. It's going to die to tower, so I decided to pick up the minion wave instead. Turns out Galio isn't running because he didn't actually see me come for him, so he is still in the area. Nami misses the bubble, so unfortunately I can't follow up with the dash there. So Galio does manage to actually get out. But overall, I think it's still fine because we got almost the same amount as a kill goal just because of how big that wave is. So in terms of actual goal, I think that we got about the same amount. But of course, it's way better to kill enemies than to kill minions. So yeah, in the meantime, since we're all on the bot side, enemy team actually manages to pick up the Rift Herald. Good macro by the enemy team to trade the Rift Herald while we are, you know, basically just horsing around in the bot lane. Alright, so here we are trying to collapse onto the Shen. Me and Nami are coming around. Here Shen actually manages to pick up the kill on Evelyn before we are able to reach her, but now he's in a 1v3. Nice bubble prediction by the Nami to interrupt the Shen dash. That's honestly really insane of a prediction, and we are able to pick up the kill onto the Shen. So now I'm 7-2-7. Got my 2 core crit items as well as now the Serelda's Grudge as well. So I'm in a really strong state at the moment. Kill summons the Herald down in the mid lane. I did assess the situation and I realized that I can't possibly stop the Herald from charging. So there's no point to actually rotate over because Nami can kill the Herald after it charges anyways. I pick up the red buff and I am rotating over. Well, I was going to say I was rotating over to mid, but since there's 2 people clearing mid, I'm going to just rotate over to the Raptors instead. Just pick up the Raptors, and the Krugs are, why not just pick up the Krugs too? You know what I always say, just farm the jungle, you know, in your downtime. The jungle doesn't belong to the jungler, and the minions don't belong to the laners. Maybe in the first 5 minutes or so, yes, but when you get to like mid and late game, anybody should just take any farm they can get. You know, unless you're of course a tank and you're next to a carry. Of course you give the farm to the carry. So anyways, here we see Diana in her own side of the jungle, but we have 3 people around here, so she definitely doesn't want to tussle with us. So here we can threaten, but of course nothing too much comes of it, and instead we're just going to rotate over to mid. We see Diana bot and Shen top, so we know that their team is going to have less members than us, considering we have 4 members around. Here Jarvan is heading into their jungle to see if we can do anything about the situation. Nothing we can really do except collapse onto the Shen. So we know that his team is in the mid lane. They are rotating over, but they're not going to reach her in time. He's going to get 5-man ganked. Galio comes in. Again, he's full tank. He doesn't really do damage. Uses all his CC already. Allows me to, of course, ult. Jarvan ult actually kind of blocks me there. I use my W to block Caitlyn's damage. I flash forward, Caitlyn flashes away, I exhaust her. Getting the kill on the Diana allows me to actually reset my E and allows me to actually dash onto the Caitlyn. And here, both me and Diana stasis together, but we do eventually pick up the kill onto the Diana for a clean ace. So, yeah, really clean ace there. All 5 members are still alive. And we are able to pick up the top lane inhibitor. And then we can actually even fall back to Baron. Now this isn't the safest Baron in the world because the whole enemy team is, not whole enemy team, but a couple members of the enemy team are respawning, but we should have more than sufficient time to get this Baron pretty easily because their jungler is the last person to die, so she's the last person to revive, so her whole team can come, but they're probably not going to get the Baron from us. So here we're just all going to DPS the Baron. Shen decides to get himself in, taunt himself in. He just gets chain CC'd by absolutely everything, and we do end up picking up the Baron. So Graves in the meantime distracting them in the mid lane. Pretty good move by him. And here we can back and almost can complete our entire Essence Reaver. So we already have those 2 components of the Essence Reaver completed. Now I will say that I haven't actually tested Phantom Dancer yet. I know I talked about testing Stormrazor and testing Solar Recharge Blade, and I found that they weren't good. But I'm not sure if Phantom Dancer will be good because I have seen a couple of Samiras going for the Phantom Dancer, so that might be the play. But anyways, for this match we have completed the Essence Reaver, so triple crit item with the armor pen item as well. Dragons coming up, but in the meantime my team is using the Baron buff to push in both lanes that have inhibitors up, which of course does make sense. So no one is really going for the dragon itself. I see my team fighting on both lanes, so of course I'm going to rotate over to help out my team in the fight. So I'm just pinging that I'm on my way. Shen is on the chase for Nami, but he's about to get collapsed upon. Here he goes in for the taunt on me. I'm gonna combo onto the Shen. I get the S rank dashing forward to get the kill onto the enemy bot lane. So instant triple kill there. Shows you yet again what Samira can do with her ult, her dash, and such. So here with the Baron buff and the entire enemy team aced, we do get the dub in this particular game. So anyways guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed that video on Samira and playing against a little bit of counter matchups on Samira. So I'll leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.